So Microsoft PowerPoint is Microsoft's presentation software. So in Office 365, we can again make use of our link up here within our app launcher to select Microsoft PowerPoint. If you want to organize your work, you can go through your OneDrive and select the file that you want it to be in. Or if you're the class teacher and you're creating this to be shared with the pupils through an assignment, you can create the PowerPoint there. So selecting the PowerPoint, again, it brings us to the options. We can create our blank presentation, or we've got different themes that we can use that have already been created. So for this one, we're just going to create the blank presentation because we're going to look at some of the options that are available to us. So on our title page, we've got our click here to add a title. We can have our PowerPoint example. And then after we've done that, because we're going to be thinking about our presentation as something that is going to be presented and not just a series of infographics, we can then create a new slide for our next piece of information. So it could be that we've got our content header. We can add a title that we're going to add. And then we can go down here and we can select what we want to add in there for our presentation. Now we've got different options for what we can insert. So at the top here, we can click on that insert. We can see that we can add a text box. We can add pictures. We can add a cameo video of ourselves. It could be a video that we've already got or audio that we want to add into our presentation as well. So there's a selection of options there that we can use to make our presentation a little bit more appealing to the eye. We can also go into the design where we're able to select more themes that have been there available to us, and this will be applied to our entire presentation, and it'll change the fonts, it'll change the colors, just to give continuity to everything that we're doing. It's important that the learners also understand that when we're changing the fonts, we don't want to see a different fonts and different sizes fonts on every slide that we have. Now, it could be that you're also selecting or creating a presentation that's going to be presented in a different format. So over here, we can also change the size of our slide as well. So depending on the screen that it's going to be presented on, we can have it on a standard, a widescreen, or it could be that you want to present it in a portrait mode. So you'll be able to go in there and select a custom size that you want to be able to use as well. Now, when we're adding different things to our picture, to our presentation, what we're able to do as well is to add in some pictures. We can just go into the stock images, and it'll be that we can add a couple of pictures that we want to create. And here you can see that they've both been overlaid. The designer will give us some different options for it, but if we want to do it freehand, we can have them organized there. And then what we're also able to do is to change the layout of it. So if you think of these as little pieces of paper on a table, you can change the way that these are done. And there's also different design aspects that it will add in for you as well. So we can use those to arrange and decide on what we want our work to look like. Now, when we're creating our presentation, we've also got different transitions. So when we're presenting, we may want to have something a little bit more exciting than just a change of page, the pages that we have. So for this one, we can choose to have it that's going to fade in between, and we can have that go to all of them. We can change the duration, and we can apply it to all of our presentations as well. And again, just looking at that continuity and having all of the pages change in the same way so that people aren't getting confused and the information that we're presenting is what's important. Now, where we've also got our images, we can choose that we want to crop these, and we are able to crop them just in our basic shape with the rectangle, or we can also crop it to a different shape as well. So if you want to have something that's cropped to a different shape, you can just select the shape and use it in that way as well. Now, once the pupils have added in their transitions, the next thing they may want to do is have animations. So when we've got those different items coming into our screen, and again, they may be images, it may be text, they can choose that they want it to appear, it can fade in, and they can decide that as they click, they have different pieces of information adding in as they're designing their presentation. Now, if the pupils are designing their presentation and they're going to present it, it's always worthwhile that your learners create a script first, and then they create their PowerPoint presentation to support the presentation that they're delivering. Now, once they've created their presentation, they're happy with it, what they also have the ability to do is to go in at the end, and they can see within the immersive reader that I'll read to it. Or if we go to the slideshow, Microsoft also allows us to use the Rehearse with Coach. So if I select my Rehearse with Coach, I can add in my body language so it can see what I'm doing. But I'm going to select going in, Rehearse with the Coach, and then it will come on for me. And as I start my presentation, it will give me some feedback on what I'm doing. So for this one, I'm going to start rehearsing. You can see me there ready to read. And I'm going to say PowerPoint example. It's telling me here that I need to face the screen. I've added an so it'll give me lots of feedback on what I'm doing. So if I just pause that, I can then resume my session, go on to my next page. I'm adding in my different things, and at the end of my presentation, it will then come over to the end and it will tell me some of the things that I've been able to do. So I spent 25 seconds presenting. I was speaking at 133 words per minute. So my pace is just right. If I'm going too fast, it will give me that feedback. If I'm too slow, and it will also give me some other feedback on my presentation again. And I can rehearse again to see how well I've done. So for your learners, they don't necessarily need to present immediately to the class. They can have practice goes, and they can get feedback from Microsoft PowerPoint on how well they've done.